Yes.
Hey, I'm recording.
Coming at you live. Okay.
So I don't even help me.
What's the matter?
Well, I didn't know we were starting.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh,
You want to start?
yes. Oh, welcome to WPUR, baby, South Jersey's #1 country radio station. This is Country. I'm Tom Jickery. Yeah, baby. What is his name?
Tom Kelly.
I was close.
Tom Dickery was better. Definitely.
Who is this guy, and why are we talking about him? And he must be destroyed.
Royce, I think that's your job to tell us who he is and why we're talking about him. This is all you're doing.
Well, okay. First of all, ladies and gentlemen, my consigliere, we will just refer to you first name only for security purposes. You are not just an attorney; you are a consigliere, and I call you Nikki Boombot, Slick Nikki, or Nikki Slick. I guess I don't know. It really just depends.
Those
on your
all will
preference.
work. I've been called worse.
All right, you don't have to put on a voice.
Oh, sorry.
All right, just be a pro. You know what I mean? You took that thing the other day? A perfect answer. Okay, so I don't look at. I went, Nick. We both grew up in what they call the tri-state area, and I went back east. Because I live in Hollywood, sort of, and I went back east to visit my dad. And I'm walking down the boardwalk in Atlantic City, New Jersey. Now, Atlantic City was never like a desirable place to go. But now they were like, they've knocked down everything. They knocked down the casino, like all the Trump casinos are gone. And there's this, and I don't want to say the name of anybody in particular along the way here as we talk, except for, what's his name again, Nick?
Tom Kelly.
I'm going to need to be reminded that like 8 more times, conveniently. So I'm walking down the boardwalk, Nick, and there's all these doors to a former casino, the Atlantic Club, and one of them's unlocked. So I like grab my phone because, I'm what they call an urban journalist, and I start filming, as you do, and I start documenting this slice of Americana gone wrong, which is really just the tagline for Atlantic City, last I heard. But so I put it on YouTube, and I have this inactive YouTube channel. I'm not doing anything with it other than milking that Stern reunion, which is good for like nothing. And I mean, it's good content. It's just, it doesn't make like any money on the YouTube channel. Point being is I got no traffic. And I put the video up, Nick, and the first day it's got like 18 views, and the second day it's got like 100 and something, and then it's got like 200 and something. And I'm like, oh my God, what is going on? And it turns out my video, Nick, has been used as fodder for WPURR.
The 1 R. It's only 1 R. They can only have 3 letters, include other than the W.
You're also an FCC regulatory. You're
yes. Well, we got to keep it precise here.
Keep it real. So I'm walking down the boardwalk. I see this thing. I film it. I go inside. I don't do anything wrong. This guy writes an article on his blog that I should be arrested. So now I'm getting like his entire audience, all like 200 of them, viewed the YouTube video. And now I'm like, why do I have 200 views on this stupid, dopey YouTube video I figured I'd get no views on? And then it's like, well, why did I put it up if I figured I'd get no views? But that's a whole nother show. And so Nick, so now this guy, I can't be arrested. And then he says, Nick, he says I should be arrested because I thought about stealing things.
Well, the real question is, did you steal anything?
I'm not going to admit that here.
Oh, boy, you're supposed to say no.
No, I didn't steal anything.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Good answer.
Thank you. you can't arrest me. And it's not trespassing, is it?
I mean, did anyone tell you not to be there?
No, in fact, I was invited. But that's a different story.
Your Honor, my case in point. Thank you.
This guy doesn't know the backstory of why I may be looking around. I had the blessing of the right people. He doesn't need to know. So now, Nick, the video is up on this blog. I took the video down. I took down a successful video just because I don't want to be fodder for cat country.
Mm-hmm.
I can't get to the.
Yeah, the article's interesting. I read it, and clearly the guy just fishes for Jersey garbage to write articles about, and yeah, that's what he did.
You just called me Jersey garbage.
Well, no. He makes it into Jersey garbage. You know, that's kind of it's doable. When you Jerseyfy something, it's garbage. But yours was not originally not garbage. But you know, whoa.
I don't understand. That's not true. I understand the whole thing. But like, what, dude? Go away. You're not even like a real radio. Nick, you started playing clips earlier before we came on the air because at this point, I mean, if he's got a radio show, then I'm gonna have a radio show. This is silly, right? Like, he's in a broom closet in like Norristown or I don't know Morristown or whatever.
No, Northfield, New Jersey. Northfield.
Close enough.
No one's ever heard of it.
He's in a shopping center broadcasting. The guy's like the size of a tiny house, okay? And he's coming at me. And he wants me to be arrested. Well, first of all, you brilliant broadcaster, you. I listened to your announcements when you were, where was he, at the car dealership or something?
Who knows? Yeah, well, whatever those garbage stations go to.
No delivery. Nick, no delivery. Like I'm talking, I want my money back. No delivery. They gotta like come on down. I'll be here with Jana.
Mm-hmm.
Jana should be hosting the show, not Tom Dickery.
I don't think any of them should be on the radio station, to be honest.
I'm going to be a good guy and prop up Jana while we tear down Tom.
All right. They also have a mascot, a giant. Guess what their giant mascot is?
Wait. Let me think about it for a second. Can you give me a second?
Go ahead.
I give up.
It's the perfect mascot for Cat Country Radio.
And?
Are you done guessing?
I don't want to play. No, is it a tiger? Is it a lion?
No. It's a giant blow up cat playing guitar and stuff. And it's funny in that one video you were referencing, Royce. He said the name of the cat, and apparently they nicknamed their giant blow up cat. But I am fighting. I think they called it Bella, the blow up cat. But yeah, it's not good.
This is in the shopping center parking lot.
Oh yeah.
How is that not hurting every other business in the shop? We should call every other business in the shopping center and rally them to get a petition to get this cat taken down.
Well, first of all, or I should say not first of all, but it's also like this is a country station. Woof, that's just brutal.
Yeah, they're really emphasizing the first three letters. Or four. Sorry, four. Four. Hey, everybody. It's me, Tom. What's his name again? Tom Jones? What is his name?
Tom Kelly.
That's the problem when you have two first names. Hey, everybody. It's Tom Kelly on Cat Country 107.3 on your dial if you're scratching. What a loser existence. These guys making like $38,000 a year trolling the internet for my videos.
I know. Well, imagine the other great stuff he finds. I mean, holy cow, that's got to be.
Well, the other thing you said he had is the Spirit Airlines article.
something about. I don't even know. Let's find out.
Well, the thing is,
this guy's the number one. He's got to be the number one news guy in Jersey or in the station.
It's unbelievable.
God, they have nothing better to do or talk about.
Wants me arrested. I want him arrested for impersonating a radio jockey. I'm serious. And I don't care. Listen, I don't even care how lame this is. You understand? Because it's not as bad as Cat Country. And at least it's not my living. This is this guy's living. His living is taking my dopey YouTube video that deserved to be viewed by nobody and then giving it to his audience like it's kitty litter. I meant catnip, but kitty litter was more appropriate in the end.
Ooh.
And then on top of that, Nick, bringing up Spirit Airlines, I can't fly Spirit. I've been banned. And that's like, because after I left New Jersey, which I call the Exodus, after I left New Jersey, I had a layover in Fort Lauderdale, where, like, honestly, like, the trashiest of the trashiest migrate to, honestly. Like, I mean, and Spirit hired them all. Like, I'm convinced that the lowest scum of the earth people living in Fort Lauderdale are all employed by Spirit Airlines.
Is that like their headquarters, maybe?
I don't even think so. I think it's in Jersey. But I mean, you know, it's a vicious cycle. So, Nick, I go 45 minutes in the air. Oh, I'm not going to be any better than this. 45 minutes in the air, and we're flying from Fort Lauderdale to La La Land, and 45, not 4 or 5 minutes, 45 minutes, and they're like, this is our captain speaking. We have to turn around because we can't cruise at any higher of an altitude or we'll burn through all the gas. Turns out the cabin hasn't been pressurized. Turns out we're 45 minutes. Like, you don't have a checklist you go through. Anybody that's watched any kind of movie or TV shows about airplanes knows there's a checklist. Like, 45 minutes into so something went wrong with this airplane.
And they said that over the radio thing, over the PA?
Yeah. So now I'm starting to rally everybody on the airplane because now I'm like, this is it, right? This is our moment, right? Like we could take this company out at the knees. That probably didn't help my case, but I'm like, people are like, do you think they're going to have to get us off the plane to repressurize it? And I'm like, yes, because it's not a pressurization issue, number one. And even if it was, yes, they would. So we're all getting off this plane. And then when they put us down on the ground, I don't even let them tell us we're getting off the plane. I start going, you're going to let everybody off this plane who wants to be off this plane, even knowing I already knew we were going to get off the plane. So clearly I was just looking to rile up some stuff. So that's what I'm doing. So then I get off the plane and I go down to ticketing. And I tell the girl at the counter, because, you know, like, Nick, if you've ever traveled, you get, like, a voucher. If, like, something goes wrong, you get a voucher, and they give you the hotel room for that.
Hell yeah.
Well, there was supposed to be a second flight. So I go, let me tell you something. I'm not getting on the second flight. And the girl at the counter's like, well, sir, the pilot wouldn't risk his life, let alone yours. I'm like, whoa, that's your logic? I'm like, we're done with the corporate speak, right? So now we got, talk about, what is his name again? Biff? What is the guy's name in Jersey?
Tom Kelly.
No, that's not his name.
What's
Tom
Kelly?
Look at the article. That's his name?
Yeah.
That's a horrible name. So
wait, is it Joe Kelly? Joe Kelly.
Okay.
Sorry.
All right.
Joe.
That's even worse.
A little big Joe Kelly.
We're better off with Tom. The guy's joking. I knew it couldn't. I knew it wasn't even good enough to be Tom Kelly. That's why I hesitated. It's Joe Kelly. I mean, talk about, did his parents just give up as he was being birthed? You don't have
Who
to
knows?
You don't have to answer.
Yeah,
I
don't.
Put you in a weird situation.
Yeah, those are some big questions you're asking.
You live far closer to him than me. You don't need to get on an airplane. He can come extradite you from your state.
Shit.
Like, wait, what are you going to do? Are you going to, like, deport me from California, you idiot? So, as I say something that makes no sense. So, listen, look, okay, so I'm at the ticket counter, and I'm like, I'm not flying on the second airplane. And they're like, well, sir, then you don't, if we give you a refund, you don't get like a hotel room or a voucher, you get nothing. I'm like, what? It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. I'm not, and she gives me, so I'm like, enough with the corporate speak. Well, now, I mean, this guy, the size of Joe Kelly, comes over, and he's like, he's the security guard, or I guess he's actually like a cop, it turns out, but I mean, it didn't matter to me. He looked like a cop, but he didn't look like a cop, you know what I'm saying? Like, he had the outfit, but everything else about him just said, like, he looked like Huel from Breaking Bad, you know what I'm saying? The big heavy black guy in Breaking Bad, that like, that was Saul's security guard, like, he's not getting up anytime. So he comes over to me, he's like, hey, man, calm down. And I'm like, no, I'm not calming down. I'm like, they need to solve the problem. This whole situation is predicated on them solving the problem. And he's like, you need to calm down. And I'm like, what are you going to do? Arrest me? And he's like, no, I'm not going to arrest you. And I was like, well, then back up. Back up. Just back up. Because it's like midnight now, right? I'm tired. He's like, back up. And he's like, hey, man, you'd be surprised what I could do. As soon as you get this refund, I'm going to escort you off the property. And I'm thinking, at that point, you're not going to have to because I'm leaving anyway. What do you think? I'm hanging out at Spirit, you dope? So then I go outside and I find a sheriff. And I'm like, hey, I don't know what's wrong with these people inside. I was like, but somebody's going to lose it on them. And I'm like, it ain't going to be me, but somebody's going to lose it on them. So just like a heads up, okay? Because those guys, I don't know what's going on in there. And he's like, yeah, I don't know. And I'm like, hey, man, can I get a ride? And he's like, yeah, no, I can't do that. And I'm like, all right, bye, officer. So at least, like, you know, I immediately, like, checked in with, like, the higher rank. And, but I'm like, these idiots at Spirit. So now I'm stuck in an airport till 5 a.m. Oh, well, okay. So at this point, she's refunded me. But I don't realize I'm banned. So it's like 5 a.m. And finally,
wait. Who banned? So the woman that refunded you banned you, or who banned you? Who banned it?
I guess when Huel said to me to back, like I told Huel to back up, and then she was like, "Sir, do you know make up your mind?" And I'm like, "I'll just get on the plane." She's like, "No." Well, it turns out that plane never left anyway, so they were giving refunds and everything. And so, and I saw other people they just threw off the plane. I ran into this girl who claimed she was dating Snoop Dogg, even though she told me she couldn't tell me who it was, but that she told me who it was. I didn't ask. Wow. Now that she brought it up, I'm bringing it up. But like, really, she dropped it. Can we talk about dropping it like it's hot? She dropped so much information in my lap so fast, but she got thrown off the plane for nothing, and she's in tears. So now we're all down there, and I get to the counter, and it turns out when the girl gave me the refund, she put notes in about me getting into it with the cop. So they said that I got thrown off the plane and I was aggressive. And so now they're like, even though we gave you a boarding pass for standby for a new flight, you can't fly Spirit at all. So
ever.
I guess I got a ban. I mean, I could have spoke to a manager, but I didn't want to stick around. I wanted to get out of Fort Lauderdale. So I went to JetBlue, and I went to fabulous JetBlue, bought a ticket, got on the plane. I walked in the plane. I was like, oh my God, this is what an airplane is.
Wait, so was that fabulous airline again? What was their name?
JetBlue.
Oh, okay.
And then the whole
I heard about them. I heard good things, very good things.
Look, they're very nice on that airline. So they allowed me to switch my seat. So I switched my seat, and I'm sitting in the back row by myself. Well, I thought I was by myself, but the girl that really thought she was going to be by herself didn't know I was going to be there. So the whole flight, this Jamaican girl with these dreads is practically got her head in my lap, taking a nap as she spread across 2 of the 3 seats and acting like I'm barely there. So I'm now like on this flight back. I'm happy to be leaving, and I got like this Jamaican girl with her head in my lap. Now, I don't know anything about this girl, okay? Now, I mean, listen. Nothing's going on. She's just like, she's snoozing, and I'm okay with it because I'm just happy to be heading home, and I'm on a nice airplane. I got the leg room. It's all good. Well, at some point, she must notice that I needed to do something. So she gets up, and she's like, what do you need? And I was like, water. And so, like, she says something to the flight attendant, and the flight attendant comes around, and the flight attendant gets me the water. But we're at the back by the galley, and she goes, next time, hit the button. And I'm like, well, I did for like a split second, but then I just felt weird, so I turned it off because you're right there. You know? So I don't know what else happened between this Jamaican girl. I don't know what happened between this Jamaican girl and the flight attendant. But, like, next time I know, she's got her head on my lap. She wakes up after the next nap, okay, because it's a 5-hour flight. And after the next nap, she's going, you're lewd. You got a problem. And she's like, and I know I sounded more like Ricky Ricardo, but she was like.
She said that to you.
No, to the flight attendant. She's like, if you don't like your job, you get a new job. And I was like, whoa.
That's pretty wise thinking. That's a smart woman.
If you don't like flying in the middle, if you don't like flying early, then go to bed early. And she's just reading the right act. And like her friend is on the other side of the aisle, and she's looking at me because I'm cracking up laughing because I've been through so much at this point. Not only is she right, but I'm in loving it. So
you're like sleepy drunk at that point.
I don't even know if I slept. So I'm just, I'm delusional, right? I'm on like fumes. And she's berating this girl. And she's like, if you don't like your job, you get a new job. And I'm like, wow. And she's like, I want to know your name, and I'm going to speak to your super. So next thing you know,
wow.
From the front of the plane, this other guy comes up and she's got an attitude and it's COVID and there should be more love. And I'm like cracking up. And like, her friend is like, he's laughing. And she's pointing to me and he's like, he's laughing. And I turned around and she looked at me and I go, I like you. And I wanted to be like, I like you. You can nap in my lap anytime. But I didn't say that because that would have been just like a weird, like, hit the brake moment. But like, I think it was implied because then she gave me a fist bump. And then she went back to like yelling at everybody. But like, in such a wonderful accent.
How old would you say this? How old would you say this
like music,
woman was?
Nick. It's like, if you don't like your job, you get a new job. I was like, damn, we should record this.
How old was she, would you say?
Well, listen, black doesn't crack, so it's very hard to tell.
Oh, man.
What do you mean? Oh, man, that's a good thing. How's that? What, I can't say good things about black people now?
That's true.
And
you're right. You're right.
Every black person will tell you that they don't crack.
I'm with you.
And if she was Jamaican, I think she was more Barbadian than Jamaican, but I didn't really get into it with her. But I think she was Barbadian. It seemed a little more Barbadian. I would say she was maybe in her early 30s. I'm going to go with 32.
Oh, wow.
I'm going to clock in at
our
32.
age. Our age.
Yeah, right. Only if the show is on a severe delay.
Yeah.
So anyway, the point being, Tom, Joe, whatever your name is. What is his name? Tom Dickery?
Joe Kelly.
Right, Joe Kelly. Listen, you can't even get me back to Atlantic City because I'm not allowed on Spirit. So I win. And I didn't even take the Nick. I would have taken the pallet. Like if I had my truck, I would have stolen stuff. I'm not gonna lie. Like I would have taken stuff.
Well, I mean, again, you didn't do it, so you can say whatever you want, really, right?
Exactly. I just want to upset the guy. I want his diabetes to kick in.
Oh, the sugar. He's got the sugar.
Sugar, dude. I mean, I'm telling you, it's crazy in cat country. Cat country in South Jersey. Who knew? I thought that was Six Flags. You know, they have the safari. I thought that was as most cat country as you could get. But who knew there's a South Jersey shopping center where this guy's ruling the roost because he doesn't just do the morning zoo. He's also the station manager. So Lord knows he's responsible for the inflatable tiger in the parking lot or whatever the hell it is.
Yeah, that would drive me nuts. If I wish I lived closer. I'd be shooting my BB gun at it or something and just taking it down.
Could you imagine, like, you're like this poor immigrant that like you grew up in, like, let's just make up a whole story real quick. So you're like this poor immigrant that grew up in like Honduras. Okay. You grew up in Honduras. Okay. All right. You're raised by a lovely couple and your whole life, very poor, and you build yourself up and you learn and you find a way out of this country and you educate yourself and you're reading and finally you make your way to America and you do it the right way. You know what I'm saying? And you do it the right way and you've earned and you finally are ready to open up your new small business, whatever it may be, in this little shopping center in South Jersey, and you can't wait for your customers to come see it. And the place is flanked by an inflatable tiger advertising for some third-rate radio station. Your entire dream is crushed by this marketing ploy. This poor Honduran immigrant's whole entire business is ruined before it ever started.
Nope.
Long walk off a short pier, I know, but the kind of trip that maybe our friend here should be taking.
Yep. Oh, right into a tiger cage. You could feed what are they? No, not a tribe, if you will, a tribe of tigers. Tom Kelly himself could feed. Sorry, Joe Kelly. Joe Kelly himself could probably feed an entire pride of tigers or lions probably for about a month, I think. A good month, those lines would eat very well, let's just say.
What is this? What is the station again?
107.3 The Cat, or Cat Country, WPUR. Something like that. I don't even know.
But 107.3 Cat Country. So we're talking about Joe Kelly on 107.3 Cat Country.
At the ass end of your dial, on the ass end of your dial for a reason.
It turns out the ass end of your dial is located right next to WPUR.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, everybody, come on out here. It's Cat Country. We're going to hot skip and a jump all weekend long. I'll be lying around if you know what I'm talking about, because my name is Joe Kelly, and I got a sad existence as a third-rate DJ in South Jersey. I mean, really, that's what his whole life is.
Yeah.
We're just two idiots recording at whatever time it may be right now because it's funny to us. He literally has got a career, and he took my YouTube video and his whole 200-person audience, and I know I've made this point already, but I will belabor it because I got no traffic on my page. Okay, and this guy, arrest him for what, Joe? Joe.
Well, let's read what he. Let me peruse his stupid. First of all, it was very nice though. He at least titled it. Where is it? Dear Atlantic City Police, not just like this man. Like, dear Atlantic City Police.
Well, he wants something. He's being polite.
I'm purring at you like a nice kitty asking for a warm bowl of milk. Please arrest this man for breaking and entering. Please. I mean, first of all, did you break anything?
No. I just entered.
Right. So therefore, you couldn't have done breaking and entering. I mean, it's like it's an entire thing. It's not one and or the other. It's just, you didn't break and then enter. You just entered. That's good.
And the lock was broken. So I actually, not only when I entered, I put the lock inside. I thought that was a very polite thing to do.
Yeah. Although, again, as I told you before, I give you the guy credit your balls. So that's nice. I mean, you got big balls.
What does he say? He said that I got big balls?
Well, they could get weird if we really start talking about it. But anyway.
No, we don't have to talk in specificity.
He is yeah. Well, maybe that's lingo because he is from cat country and cats do like balls. Uh-oh.
Oh, big balls are catnip.
Who knows? Catnip to Tom or whatever I'm not going to say.
Remember, when in doubt, Nick. Meow.
Meow. But he does say, I'm amazed at the balls of some people. So you're saying he's amazed at your balls.
You're stretching. What's wrong with you? That's not a compliment.
I think that I'm looking at it. He's saying he's amazed at your balls.
Now, he's saying I'm amazed at the balls of some people, but then he goes on to say that I'm not a reporter, and I would argue that I've got more reporter credentials than he does.
I second.
I've reported for politics over the years. I've covered campaigns. I've reported for a company called Verasifier that's no longer with us, and I've reported. I've been quoted in the Wall Street Journal, and I've reported other stuff. And then we had the Trump crank call. And then, obviously, I did this wonderful piece of journalism that he thought was good enough to write about.
Mm-hmm.
You hypocritical cat.
Meow. 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 He doesn't have a big roar. He's a meow.
Meow, meow, meow.
Meow. Oh, man.
They don't have crickets over there. They just have meow.
Meow.
That's me hitting all the cat noises.
Well, the crickets come from his audience, if you know. That's I'm guessing where the crickets are because boring.
So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to call into this guy's show.
Oh.
And I'm going to turn myself in.
Okay.
What is he going to do?
That's a good question.
I can't imagine.
You should ask him. Yeah.
I mean, unless he turns out he's like the sheriff of Atlantic City, too. I mean, it is Jersey.
Ooh. Yeah, I doubt he's the sheriff. I think they have some physical some requirements of your ability to sheriff things.
By the way, this is like the most exciting thing that's going on in Atlantic City right now. There's also that reality.
Yeah. I mean, to think about random guy from a random no-name radio station somehow found your video and chose to write an article about it. And then, like I said, if you go to, I mean, we're kind of giving them free, free advertising.
Let's. His name is Joe Kelly, and it's Cat Country Radio 107.3 if you're scratching on the dial.
Ooh. I'm saying, like, if you go to this stupid radio station's website, their homepage there's nothing country or music there. It's all just articles of boring shit that this guy and I guess some of the other people he works with, they take other things. They're like the Cliff Notes of Jersey, of dumb Jersey things. It's like
it's his own dopey little TMZ.
Right. Now the real question is, does he talk about it online or not online? The show might as well be online. Does he talk about this dumb stuff on the radio? That's the real question.
Can we stop saying on the radio and just start saying at the shopping center?
Does he talk about this next to the laundromat or not? That's what I want to know.
That's what I want to know. Does he talk about this at the Wawa or not?
No, I think that's more 7-Eleven country, if you ask me.
Yeah, South Jersey 7-Eleven country. I mean,
they can't handle Wawas. They're not classy enough.
Well, it's French. Listen, I think.
Really?
I think what has to happen here is very simple. Number one, I got to call into this guy's show in the morning. Number two, it's not that I don't care that he wrote the stupid blog, but I just find it funny that you would like call for my arrest. Like in other words, like in my mind, you'd be like, oh, I could bitch about this guy, and keep bitching about this guy, but like to call for his arrest just shows how dumb I am because I'm like whining in my little blogosphere of 200. Like, Atlantic City police aren't listening to your show, Joe.
Yeah, you know Joe just put out an APB.
You know what I mean? So
mobilize our forces.
And now, Joe, I'm going to give you a little producing advice here. Okay? I may or may not have experience. Like, maybe what you should have done is question the authenticity of the video and created a little drama and circumstance for yourself instead of saying, hey, arrest this guy, end scene. Because now, Joe, there's no act 2. I got to create the act 2. I'm still doing the heavy lifting for you, you dope. I'm sitting here doing a show for nobody. Nick's not listening. Believe me, I've known Nick my whole life. He's not listening. Trust me. He's got something to eat on the grill over there. He's got, Lord knows. This guy uses an oven for heat. Okay, so Lord knows what's going on over there. And you're in a shopping center mining our world for content. We were supposed to talk about so many other things, Nick. So many other things. And we'll talk about them next time, if there is a next time, unless I'm in Atlantic City jail. But my mother would love that, by the way, because then she could visit me because I'd be in proximity. She told me she would turn me in if the radio station had a good enough prize.
And not only would she visit you, she got you trapped, so you can't escape and get away.
No. And honestly, all I heard was low overhead. So I was almost okay with it at a certain point. Listen,
no rent, and you get fed.
Listen, I'm going to be really honest with you now because we're sort of towards the end of the show. Why do you think I was in the Atlantic Club in the first place? I thought it was a great place to move into. I saw mattresses, bedding. There was a lot of paper towels, Nick, and it was the good stuff too. Believe me, I have Amazon little barcode thing. I scanned it, and then they had little fridges. It would have been like college. I could have lived in the Atlantic Club, and I could have lived there probably for 6 months. Nobody would have known. Okay, I could have listened to Cat Country Radio on the boardwalk all day, and then I could have returned to my little shanty in the Atlantic Club. But no, Joe Kelly had to put out an APB on Cat Country Radio. Meow.
Meow. You could have invited him too. It's just a shame.
He's missing out.
Who would have loved?
Listen, he would have taken a mattress.
God. I don't want him to lie either.
Look at that guy. He looks like he's got bad posture. He needs something. Those mattresses are far better than anything that the Bills at Cat Country are footing. 107.3.
Oh, Cat Country.
I don't even understand, like, how that makes money as a business. Like, they got to pay him. They got to pay that Jana. They got to pay whoever else is doing another show on there. And like, really, there's enough advertising dollars coming in Atlantic City, in Cat Country, New Jersey, wherever that may really be, to pay the bills for this little dopey radio station? I mean, honestly, I don't even think these guys are making $37K a year. I'm downgrading it to $27K a year.
That's a big downgrade. Not even a little downgrade.
Well, listen, his ass is about to get fired in 3 seconds if he doesn't watch it. Okay, he doesn't know who I know. I'm from Hollywood. He's from like Barrelwood or something in Jersey. Wildwood. I'm from Hollywood. He's from Wildwood. You understand the difference, Nick? I know people that think they're famous.
I think he does too. That's the problem.
I want to call him right now because you know he's going to answer. He doesn't want to miss $1 in ad revenue. Like, that's really what we should do. Is we should call up as all these different companies that want to advertise on cat. Listen, I just created a new cat product. It's they're little mittens for cat testicles, and they keep your cat warm during the winter. And I'm looking to do $100K in advertising with you, Joe. Joe.
He would go out. He'd be like, "That's great! I've been going buy myself a new car. Oh my God, get ready!" You know, like that. He's that kind of person. That's what he would do. You know, like.
And I'm not saying it's the best product in the world, but people will buy anything for their animals. So I think you could create warmers for cat testicles and sell them at least to the Cat Country crowd. I mean, who's advertising on Cat Country radio? They don't have any big sponsors. It's like the local pub. They probably got people at the other end of the shopping center advertising.
And from the looks of it, it looks like Joe has a sandwich deal. You give me sandwiches, I talk about your place on the radio.
You know, for a second, I really thought like you knew something.
Oh, I do.
No, it turns out you do. It turns out you do. For very different reasons, albeit, but you do. You're very inquisitive. Has anyone ever told you that?
Sometimes.
I did a sandwich deal. Like in the 3 seconds you gave me to think about that, I thought there was like a Lee's Hoagie or something, like 3 stores down, and it's like, hey, tell him Joe sent you. You get free fries. Like, that's what I picture. And Lee's Hoagies had great fries. I don't know if they're around anymore.
Lee's, you're saying, had good fries.
Yeah, remember the Lee's in Bucks County?
No. The name's familiar. I couldn't recall the place. I tried to tune that place out.
We grew up in a place called Bucks County, and it never sounded like a hick place until you told it to people that didn't live in Bucks County. Like, when we were growing up, it was one word, Bucks County. And then, like, you go outside of that, and it's like Buck County. Like, holy crap, I'm surprised you don't have a gap in your teeth. And I'm like, well, no, they paid to have those pushed together. You know, like, you had an orthodontist.
I did have braces.
Yeah, you did. We all did. Because it's like a white Anglo-Saxon neighborhood. It's like, straighten up the teeth.
Awful.
Up.
Awful.
No, it's true. It's true.
I know. I'm saying it was awful. It still is awful, too. It's even more.
And now I'm going to deal with Joe Kelly, like some washed-up has-been from Council Rock High School that never left the South Jersey area that's going to come from my rope-a-dope, dopey, dope YouTube channel. You don't know me, Joe. You know what? Cash me outside. Emphasis meow.
Joe Kelly.
I want to curse so bad, but I can't do it because I want the ad revenue. God forbid off this video post.
Oh, shoot. I hope I didn't curse.
It doesn't matter. Matter.
Dang nabbit.
2 words. Plausible deniability. The same thing I did when I broke into the Atlantic Club. Oops.
Wait a second.
No, the
door
was unlocked.
It was unlocked. You're good.
Thank you. So are you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, yeah, I know I'm good. I wasn't there. I wasn't stupid enough to break it. I just wasn't there.
I just meant generally speaking, you're good. You're a good guy. You're good. You're good.
I try.
He's a good guy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Listen, I didn't take anything. And even if I did, I wouldn't admit it. But I didn't, for real. So believe
it's kind of like that nature's, that like hiker in nature saying, like, don't take anything but pictures and don't leave anything behind but footsteps. And that's all you did.
That's right.
That's nothing bad.
Thank you,
That's what they want you to do. Yeah, that's what they want you to do. Duh.
Yeah, they didn't have the door unlocked. The door unlocked said enter. Do you know what I'm saying? If the doors were locked, I wasn't going to like pick a lock. But this unlocked door, right. And I'm like, oh, obviously somebody else has been in here.
Right. And what are you going to do? Like, I found a $1,000 coin from this casino. Well, you ain't getting paid for it, so, you know, what are you going to do?
Do you think the Atlantic City Police, are going to, walk up to the boardwalk, number one, because I know I was walking. Number two, do you think the Atlantic City Police are even, like, who's going to press charges?
Yeah, it's Atlantic fucking City. They have a little bit bigger fish to fry than some guy taking pictures and leaving footsteps, you know?
But who in the right mind, who is going to press charges for that? In other words, so now Joe's put out this APP on his blog. So now, and you know what's funny is you can see the analytics. So I saw like there's a WhatsApp thing, and I'm like, oh, I wonder if like some of the links like were sent in WhatsApp between cops. So we're like, who is this guy? What do you want to do, Chief? But like, what are you going to do? Like, nobody's going to press charges. The cops don't press charges. The cops need somebody to press charges, Joe. Do you seriously not have a television?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I'm saying? The cops aren't going to go, we're pressing charges.
They're not going to name a street after you, Joe. You're not getting a key to the city, Joe. You're not going to get a ticket tape parade, Joe. Get a life.
He thought they were going to name that leg of the boardwalk after him.
The only thing named after him is a hoagie at the sandwich shop down the South Shopping Market.
Talk about a sack of suds.
Oh, shit.
All right, so let's review. Joe Kelly at Meow Meow Radio is possibly one of the dopiest people I've ever come across in my 40 years. And I could just round up to 40 now, Nick. And what I would say at this point, from my vantage point, not to use two words in a row, I don't like doing that. But what I would say, Joe, the way I see it now.
Oh, I thought you were calling me Joe first. Okay, never mind.
You could be Joe. I don't know why you'd want to.
No, I don't want to.
Joe, you did it all wrong. I said it already. I'll say it again. You did it all wrong. You came at this entire thing with an attack. You didn't have to attack. You could have plucked my video. You could have used it for your own good with love. Just like the girl in the back of the airplane. It's COVID. More love. You know what I'm saying? But instead, you got to write your little 6-line blog post, just enough for a blog post. Once you put the thumbnail in there, it looks like somebody wrote a page. Okay, just enough. I've had a blog before. I know what it is. Atlantic City Police arrest this man. There's not one cop in the entire Atlantic City Police Force listening to your show, let alone reading your dopey blog. Okay? I probably got more on this YouTube channel because of the Stern reunion nonsense than you do actually staying in South Jersey, graduating from Hoboken High or wherever you come from.
Their mascot was the Tiger Voice, let's not forget.
Okay? Meow, Joe. Meow. You stupid son of a... All right, everybody. I'm Joe Kelly, WPUR, South Jersey's to lead a shopping center. Hey now. I mean, this guy couldn't even have that inflection in his voice. I could do better making stuff up than this guy does in the few clips you played me. And those are his highlights.
Never mind.
What?
Oh, boy.
What? Say it. Say it. I'll cue up the cat noises while you talk.
I'm just trying to think, like, when you call them highlights, that man does not get very high very often because gravity is not his friend. I'm sorry. I got to stop. That's mean. Damn it.
Oh, I thought it was something about High Life and Miller beer, but I guess it's
no.
all the same.
It just made me laugh in my head. That's all.
Listen, I don't want to make fun of somebody for their weight, but sometimes it's easy, and even more so, Joe. Okay, Joe. Which really, again, you got this whole radio station at your disposal. You're supposed to be a branding, marketing genius over there. You couldn't change your name from Joe Kelly to something a little more snazzy. Again, like Joe K, Joey K. Joey
Katz with a Z.
Joey Katz with a Z. Nick, you're
brilliant. With a K and a Z. With a K and a Z.
Lost opportunities aplenty.
Oh, Joe.
Meow. This is honestly why we're gonna have your job in another week. And I don't want it. I'm not taking it. They're gonna offer it to me, and I'm gonna say no. Which means you're still gonna be stuck there. That's the worst part. They're gonna offer me your job. I'm gonna turn it down, and you're gonna be stuck there until you get bought out by Cumulus or something.
Poor Joe.
How much longer do I have to do this? Joe,
I don't know.
Not you. I'm talking to Joe.
Oh.
Joe, how much longer do I have to do this? Joe, how much longer do I have? Seriously. Have I made my point 46 minutes in? Is this enough for you to comprehend? Next time, take the video, write your little blog post, and move on with your sorry little existence. Because now you're in my crosshairs. And this, my friend, is merely just the warm-up. Slick Nicky, final words. Go.
Joe, we hope you talk about us on your show because that just lets us know how sad and low that you will go, Joe.
You're like my own personal Dr. Seuss. But here's the flip side of that equation, Joe. If you don't talk about us, we know you were listening. You see? So it's like the Salem witch trials. Now you're damned either way. Either way, you're a witch, Joe. You're a witch. You're a witch. Nick, I'd like to rest my case there, if I may.
Your Honor, my client would like to rest his case.
Thank you.